coffee. Always have it by your side whenever you're writing, watching videos, learning how to write, watching videos. You should always have coffee, because coffee, it's better than alcohol. Keeps your mind clear. It's a teddy bear. I have mine all the time. Now, I might be addicted. Addiction's not good. So don't get addicted on coffee. And if you can help it, get a cup you like. This cup has all my cats on it. It was a gift. Don't judge me. Thank you for coming back. We are doing the next episode of our Writer's Bookshelf. Should be our episode 3. And today we are going to begin looking at structure books. And, when we looked at Stephen King's book earlier, Stephen King is, an organic writer, is what they call the pantser, the one who's always discovering, where the bodies are buried as he writes. And so, there's nothing wrong with writing that structure. I prefer writing that way, as I feel like I get my ideas down a much more organically, and I think my characters are more authentic when I do it that way. But not everybody does that. Some people, they have to structure first. And so, when I started the series, I mentioned that I had gotten a creative writing degree in English at college. And the thing with taking a writing degree is, just like any other degree, you're going to learn enough to get you the degree, but not necessarily enough to do the job well. To do the job well, you have to actually put in the practice, but you also have to learn the skills that you did not learn in college. And so whether you're a writer, an engineer, or something in between, you need to make sure that you always look for new ways to improve your skills beyond what they teach you in school. Because and don't go to school just to learn the skills, because honestly, school you really kind of need for the degree, not really so much for the training. Not anymore, because there's plenty of videos, books, everything out there that can teach you all that you need to know and more that you're not going to learn at school, because there's no time. It's not that school is useless. I'm not saying that, but there's no time to get all the information you need. You will get the master's assistants in trying to point you in the right direction, and that's part of what the benefit of going to school is today, is getting the wisdom, getting the feedback, getting the direction. But again, like we learned with Bird by Bird, you still gotta keep doing the work. You gotta, don't stop at, the degree. Feed your mind more and more. And so, purpose of reading these books that I'm suggesting to you guys, or watching the authorship videos, if you'd rather do that, or take a Udemy course or something, is you're getting the time now that you couldn't get in school. You're getting the expert advice that you're not getting without the lesson. Like, if you just write, okay, that's great, you're getting yourself some free writing practice, but are you learning how to do it well? Probably not. It's just like an old joke is the neurosurgeon goes and tells the author, the best-selling author, hey, I'm thinking about writing a book. And the best-selling author tells the neurosurgeon, hey, what a coincidence, I'm thinking about doing some brain surgery. No, it doesn't work that way. Got to do the training. So one of the most helpful books I have had in the last 10 years to get my mind back in the mindset of doing this properly, going beyond just what I think is, a cool discovery and going into more structured writing, is this book called Story Engineering by Larry Brooks. And this is, we talked about the bridge between writers and engineers. This does that. This is a way for you as a writer to learn how to do story structure well. And that's really the heart of this book, is all about mastering the 6 competencies of storytelling. And the thing with Larry Brooks in particular, he's got he actually has a new book that I haven't checked out yet, but this story engineering book is actually the first of a 3-part series. We're going to go through each book in the consecutive weeks here. So this week, this is the first book, Story Engineering. I highly recommend you read this book, even if you're not a structured writer, even if you are not somebody who who likes outlining and plotting and all of that, this book is still worth checking out because it's going to at least give you the things to look for. Even if you do write by the seat of your pants, this is going to give you those elements you should really be looking for to make sure your book has it. And so, just to kind of an overview, these competencies that he talks about, and you can see, again, the table of contents. You got all these different sections here. The part one is what are the 6 core competencies and why should I care? Part 2 is the first core competency, which is concept. The word concept is something that we kind of bat around a lot, and there's always this question like, what's the difference between concept and premise? And so fortunately he will go through that idea of what a concept is and how you use that to begin your writing journey. Most writing structures, most writing disciplines, they all stem from this idea of concept, and whether or not you have a good story worth telling is based on the concept. So for example, if I were to tell you, hey, I have this idea of a story about a guy who likes coffee, you're not excited, are you? You don't care. He's a guy who likes coffee. It's a character, but it's not a concept. It's just a dude who drinks coffee. Okay, big freaking deal. So the idea is you have to put something on that. You have to put some kind of conflict in that, in that idea. So this book will also kind of get you in that mindset of how to generate a concept that's worth turning into a story. And then you got part 2 is what they call the first core competence, or no, that is the second core. Sorry, part 3. Second core competency is character. Character, again, it's who are the people populating your story, who are the ones moving the conflict forward. And so it goes into things like the fundamental essence of character, 3 dimensions of character, character unmasked, human nature, your backstory, interior versus exterior conflict, and of course the all-important creating the character arc, and so on. And that's just the first 100 pages of the book. You get into those basics. If you've never learned this stuff, if you've always been interested in writing but you've never learned this stuff, now's the time. You're really this is the beginning of where I think the ideas, or the concepts, if you want to call it that, will begin to sink in. Because if you've gone through if you've read other books on writing, again, some of the ideas are going to begin to overlap and it's going to stick, and most things aren't going to stick on your first go through. It's usually when you keep filling your head with the same ideas over and over that it begins to stick, and that you can begin to take those concepts from your head rather than having to go and find the book again, and you can apply them into your writing. So you're going to find that some of what Larry Brooks discusses will show up in other books, and that's good because you want to have that constant reminder. This is how a story works. Okay. Part 4 is third competency, which is on theme. Theme is, again, the soul of the story. The plot is what the story is about, but the theme is essentially why you're writing it, why it matters. And so, it talks a little bit about that. And then, of course, part 5 is actual story structure. It's the moment that you've been waiting for. It's how do I actually put this thing together? And so he goes through I'm not going to read them all, but it goes through this long list of sections that talk about how to put the story together from each beat, each plot point, and so on. And then he even has a section on outlining versus organic storytelling. And this is the book where I first learned about the term pantsing. In fact, I don't know if he coined it, but he's the first one I've ever heard use it. So I have a feeling he might be the blame for the word I hate. But it's worth going through and checking that out. And of course, 5 and 6 is scene execution and writing voice. And then he ends the book with the story development process. The thing with Larry Brooks is, again, I think he's a writing instructor, or he's got a website at storyfix.com where he will go through and reiterate, the competencies and just all the things that he teaches authors. And what I like about his books, and I remember a comment that a writer had years ago. I think I was looking up information on the book, and somebody had made the comment, or maybe it might be one of the quotes, but somebody said that this was by far the easiest writing book they've ever read, because what Larry Brooks does that a lot of instructors won't do is he made it accessible. He made it easy to read, made it easy to understand. So the reason why this is our first actual writing book and not just like a trying to figure out whether you should write, because this I think really does kind of bridge the gap between knowing and not knowing how to do it right. And this is, I think, the perfect introduction to learning structure. So if you've not read this book, that's your assignment this week, is to read the book. Now, next week and the week after, we're going to be looking at his 2 other books in the same series. So if you want to read ahead and get caught up, feel free to do that. It's going to be more of the same for the next couple of weeks. But, keep a lookout for them. I don't know if Barnes & Noble still carries them in their shelves or on their shelves, but I'm sure you can easily go to Amazon or Barnes & Noble or any place online and get a copy. It's, again, it's a pretty well popular book, so you can get it. So thanks again for watching, and if you have any questions, leave it in the comments. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to come back for more, hit the subscribe button. If you want to see me do a song and dance, I'm not going to, but you can say, hey, can you sing next time? And I'll say no, but at least you asked, and that's the important thing. You were taking initiative by asking. Anyway, thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week. Bye.